Yo, what's up, fam? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes, fam. You dig what I'm saying? It helps with YouTube's algorithm. That's the placement that I get on YouTube. You know, when you see those YouTube videos in your sidebar, those recommended videos, it helps. Smash up the likes. Also, fam, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. If you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat. That way you make sure your comment go noticed. I'm going to go in on this topic briefly, and then I'm going to come back and check the chat, starting with the super chat. Also, fam, I got No More Talk mask. How cool is that? No More Talk mask. Go into the description right under the video and just click on that link that takes you to my merchandise. You can get yourself a mask, get yourself a No More Talk t-shirt, get yourself a hoodie. Got the winter coming up. You know, get yourself some gear. You dig what I'm saying? Also, fam, make sure you share these videos. Put it in their face. Yeah, man. There's a whole lot of things going on. You're trying to stop the message. Y'all don't see everything, fam. And, you know, I'm not the type to complain. You know, I'd rather just put the work in and get results, you dig? Sometimes I complain, but when I do, you know, I always put work behind it. I always follow up. I always say that you can complain, but after you complain, do something about it. You dig what I'm saying? So I like to do something about it. Yeah. What is that? Okay. So, so we got this dude who calls himself a pastor, and he went to his estranged wife's job at Navy Federal Credit Union, and he killed her as she was about to enter the building to start her shift. This guy's name is Sylvester Offery. Remember the name. He's one of the top tender nuts out there. What's a tender nut? It is a guy who is emotionally distraught. A guy who cannot function well in romantic relationships. He gets very emotional when he doesn't have his way. He's controlling. He's unhinged. He doesn't know how to communicate without violence and insults. He's a tender nut. Now, he killed Barbara Toomey. The woman was only 27 years old, and he took her life because she didn't want to be with him anymore. Now, if he killed that woman, imagine what he did to her prior to shooting her. He probably beat her for years because they had a record on him for assaulting her 3 years ago. She didn't press charges, which often happens in cases of domestic dispute. You know, police come out, dude end up going to jail, no charges are filed because the woman refuses to testify, you know, to go forward at all. So sometimes the state will pick those type of cases up depending on how bad they are. But oftentimes those cases just get swept under the rug, and these abusers continue to abuse. kind of like how rapists are, you know. Rapists go out and rape somebody and they get away with it, and women don't say anything because out of shame or fear or whatever. Then basically that's a green light for him to rape again. That's exactly what's going to happen. So this is why I believe in punishing people who violate on any level. Well, I mean, it don't have to be rape or domestic abuse. It can just be any level. Like, make an example out of them and put the word out to everybody else who this person is. And it also lets others know what could happen to them if they violate. It is very important to make examples out of people who violate. It is very important. So that's what I'm saying. This guy calls himself a prophet. A prophet. He has about 60,000 followers on Facebook, and he is the pastor of, what is it called? Floodgates, Floodgates International Ministries. Floodgates of Heaven, that's what it is. Floodgates of Heaven International Ministries. And he calls himself the prophet. Y'all know how that go, fam. Beware of false prophets. The only kind of prophet that this dude is for profit. A man of the cloth do not behave that way. He wasn't called, not by God. One of his homies might have called him. Hey man, you want to pastor this church? Yeah, he ain't the real deal. It's so many frauds out there running around here playing with God, acting like they're the real deal. Straight fraud. I've been called to pastor. They go out and get drunk one night, the very next day they calling they people talking about they've been called to pastor. Pastor what? So here we are once again. But you know what the deal is, fam, is that the bar has been lowered so substantially on all professional levels. Think about it. Think about all of these industries that you once respected, right? Think about, let's start with the clergy since that's what we are. So think about the clergy. Think about education. You look at law enforcement, politics. You look at the medical field. It's the same way with even rappers, singers, actors. The bar has been lowered on every professional level. Like basically damn near anybody can do anything they just want to do now. It's because a lot of it ain't even about real talent. It's about personalities. Fam, if you have not done so already, smash up the likes. It's too many people watching right now for the likes to be so low. Smash up the likes for me, fam. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna hurt you. Just, do that one thing like, that's all it takes. Anyway, fam, let me go into the comments and see what you guys are saying. Somebody said the damn boy has dropped completely. Who is that, Tyree? What's up, Tyree? Tristan, the perks when you hate police and authorities. The perks when you hate police and authorities. Yeah, you're gonna have to make a complete sentence, homie. Let's see. What's up, Loretta? Derek Mallory, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Twin Cities in the building. What's up, Anthony? What's good, Anthony Nixon? David White. What up, Dave? Appreciate you. Antoine, what up? Any position with power can be abused. You got that right. What's up, Regina Riley? Cedric Jones, West Palm Beach. What's up, Florida? New York in the building, 9/11 superstition. Race traders. Who is that, Tina Smith? D Smooth, what's up, D Smooth? Joseph James. Slow this chat down, it's kind of moving a little too fast for me. What's up, Chris Glover? Who's that, Leona King? H-Town in the building. 313 Thizzle. Says Idlewild checking in from Memphis. What up, bro? Who is that? DJ Air Alert. What's up, DJ Air Alert? If you're just not joining in, fam, we're talking about the tender nut pastor from Orlando, Florida. Sylvester Offery. Straight up sucker. Bum. Had no business being in a relationship. Some people, man, it's a lot of people don't have no business in a relationship because they don't know how to respond when the other person don't behave the way they want them to behave. They don't know how to respond respectfully. They don't know how to respond with dignity. They don't know how to respond civilly. They lose it. They don't have no type of skill set to be able to deal with rejection. You know? They don't have any kind of skill sets. Their asses don't belong in relationships. They should be by themselves or go find a pet because they have no business interacting with human beings. Human beings are complex individuals. Humans are a very complex species. And you got to have good communication skills to be in a relationship, and to make a relationship work, you got to have really good communication skills to make it work. But just to get a good run out of a relationship, all good things come to an end, and that's what we have to understand about relationships. Ain't none of these relationships guaranteed. I can say I love you. You say you love me today, and then later on today, you're like, you know what, I don't love you no more. I found somebody else. I got to accept that. Yeah, it's messed up. Yeah, all that's messed up. Whatever. We'll get over it, though, because there's greater men than me that have had their hearts broken and had to pick up the pieces and go back out and start over again. Some of these dudes fall off the horse, and they get all emotionally wrecked. They just, my feelings, and playing with my heart and just doing me this way, and fuck you, want to kill, and like, you ain't special. Ain't nothing special about you that's more special than any other man who has been in love, or who has claimed to be in love, or who has been with a woman. We have all fallen short, have sinned and fallen short of the glory of our woman. That's what we have to understand. I've been in these type of situations, man. I have to take my bitter with my sweet. I've broken some hearts, And I've had my heart broken. That's the name of the game. That's how it goes. All good things must come to an end. Relationships come to an end by force or choice. Either way, you need to get in your mind when you meet somebody that these relationships are not meant to last forever. By force or choice, your relationship is going to end. When it does, the sooner you start to prepare yourself psychologically to accept that, then the better off you'll be. That's not saying that you're going to be immune to having hurt feelings or some type of moments of depression or whatever. That's not saying that you're going to be absorbed from that at all. I'm just saying, if you have the skill set, if you have the information to survive, to get through it, you can survive it. We have to understand that these relationships are temporary, and they end. All of them end by force or choice. That force can be the other person saying that they don't want nothing else to do with you, or the other person dying by accident, natural causes, or whatever. Somebody bringing harm to them, whatever. But that's force. The person don't exist anymore, then it was by force. But the choice is either of us gets to walk away from a relationship anytime we choose. It go both ways. What I don't understand is how some dudes can just cut off a woman that they don't want to deal with no more, and everything cool, and ain't no violence with it. The woman just suffering, crying, and sometimes she starve herself, or sometimes she overeats and she calls her friends and she's so depressed, and the girls are trying to rally her and get her together and all of this stuff, and and tell her you can do better and you don't need them, and woman go through all of this stuff, okay, and the woman gets through it. Now, oftentimes men consider women to be the weaker of the genders, but I would tell you, emotionally, mentally, physically, I've seen women be the stronger of the genders when pressure comes, when adversity comes, when there's some type of pain. Even when it comes to menstrual cycles, women can be on their cycle and still be going. They be in pain, and man, they take whatever medicine they trying to keep on going. Sometimes they can't get to the Tylenol quick enough, or the Midol, whatever they taking. They can't get to it quick enough, and they just keep on moving and picking up the babies and doing their work at work, doing their job. Men get a little cold in their asses, take off the whole damn week and just coughing at home, coughing, who's shilling and just catching chills and all kind of shit. We can't take it. I'm telling you some truth, fam. These women be going through all kinds of stuff with their bodies, man, and still be moving forward in life. And then a dude get just one little bitty cough, man, he got to take off a whole week. He done missed a whole week of work. Can't take it. Same thing with a relationship, man. A relationship go bad, dude can't take it. He just, and it's a trip that, because a lot of these same dudes are the same ones who have played women. I've played women, and I've been played. I can take my bitter with my sweet. That's what life is about. Just like when you're in a relationship and it go bad and you got kids from a woman, and a dude just start cussing, talking to the woman bad in front of her kids and all kinds of stuff, and he want to swing on the woman and all this stuff. Well, wait a minute. But she all of these names and stuff. And all you can remember now is all of the bad stuff she did. But what about all the good times y'all had when y'all was going to the plays, going to the clubs, to the restaurants, eating fine dinner, and she was keeping you company, making you feel good. What about the vacations, going to the games, the pro games, the fights, what about all of the making love in the car, at the crib and giving it to you like you want it? And what about all them times she made you feel good? That don't count. All you can think about is the negative part. That's all you remember, is the bad part. That's all you can think of. And you forgot the biggest one of them all. Dun, dun, dun. The kids she gave you. You say you love your kids so much. How can you love your kids so much but hate that from which they came? Your kids are not going to start hating their mother because you hate her. The mama can be a crackhead. They still gonna love their mother. You calling their mother a crackhead is not going to push them any closer to you. In fact, it'll push you away from them. It'll push them away from you. So we got to try to refrain from stuff like that. When these relationships go bad, we got to try to maintain our dignity and maintain a level of civility, especially when you're dealing with children, because you're trying to raise human beings. And however they see you behave in adversity, that's the way they're going to behave, because you're teaching them. Kids do not listen to what you say. They listen to what you do. So if they hear you acting a fool and becoming unhinged every time something go bad in the relationship, or you don't get your way and you start pouting and exploding, they're going to do the same thing. And that may not be a big deal to you in the beginning because you can control them when they're young. But what about once they become grown and they start treating their own children the same way? Your grandchildren, which you probably most likely gonna love to death, and now they're feeding all of this negative energy into their children that they got from their parents. They got from you. So even when you don't feel like being cordial to your ex, even when you don't feel like being civil, suck it up, buttercup, swallow your pride, because it ain't about you. It's bigger than you. You're the vessel, but it's bigger than you. You teach them babies how to do it the right way, and then you have less problems down the line. I ain't saying they're going to be perfect, but you're going to have less problems down the line when kids understand that they got two parents that love them by show, not by words. This dude, this pastor, was a straight up class A sucker. Call himself a prophet. What kind of prophet? What kind of prophet take a gun and go to his wife's job and murder her because she don't want to be with him no more? Motherfucker, you a prophet. Didn't you prophesize that she was going to leave you at some point? You couldn't prophesize that? You couldn't prophesize getting a new chick, that a new chick was going to come along the line, come down the line, that you're going to get some new action down the line? Couldn't prophesize that? Beware of false prophets, fam. This dude is a sucker. Sylvester Offery. That's his name. They got his dumb ass sitting in jail right now on first-degree murder charges. Now, he hated that woman so much that he killed her. Now, the rest of his days are spent reflecting on how he threw everything away based on a woman that he hated. At some point, he loved her, but you don't hurt what you love. So when he killed her, at that point, he hated her. So he threw his life away for a woman that he hated. What kind of sense does that make? That's a first-class fool, a super dummy, a tender nut. That's what he is. It makes absolutely no sense to me, fam. Like I said, I'm human, so I'm not made of steel. I got emotions. I got feelings just like anybody else. And if I was with a woman that I really wanted to be with and she didn't want to be with me no more, I would be hurt. But I understand the psychology of relationships. You win some, you lose some. They all come to an end by force of choice. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes the other person just decide they don't want to be with you no more. If that happens, then at that point, you go through the cycle of your whatever stint of depression that you're going to have to deal with, and you just go through it, but knowing that every day you wake up, that problem gets small and small and small, and eventually you'll grow to want to be in a relationship again at some point where you'll be able to trust somebody again. But that going out there thinking that, oh man, everything gonna be beautiful and that you control everything. See, that dude was a control freak. This is what control freaks do. When they can't control a situation, they act out, they strike, they beat, they hit, they shoot, they stab, like the police. This is why the police have a hard time, especially dealing with black people, because they can't control black people like they used to. And so when black people stand up to them, they lose it. They snap. They're control freaks. They have no business being police officers. They have no business riding around with badges and guns. These dudes are straight up morons, ignorant, dumbass, racist, backwoods, past life morons. Have no business having guns. This is why they jumped on the guy who was the Uber Lyft passenger. They jumped on dude because he simply told them, well, why do we have to give you our ID? We're not driving. Which is correct. That is the law. But they break the law. They break the law consistently because these bastards don't understand conflict resolution. They don't know how to communicate. They have little to no respect, most of them, for black people. So when a black person says something, they feel like black people don't have no rights. They feel like they can control black folks and black folks supposed to do anything they say. Shut up right on the spot. Don't matter if you're grown or not. It doesn't even matter if you're grown. They just say, shut up. And that's it. Like they can just tell you what to do and you're just supposed to do it. But when it don't work out, they lose it. They snap. Most of these dudes belong in mental institutions. Most of these cops, they're not qualified to be in a position of stewardship over anybody. They shouldn't even be in relationships. The profession of policing, law enforcement has one of the highest rates of spousal abuse. A lot of the women don't tell on them because what they gonna do? They gonna get harassed by their partners and stuff. I would advise any woman, steer clear of police officers. You taking a chance. If you get in a relationship with a police officer, you taking a major chance. Because it'd be all good. You be thinking, oh yeah, okay, he's a cop. He's gonna protect me. Yeah, well, who's gonna protect you from him? And I got a couple buddies that are cops. And luckily they are, in my opinion, some good dudes. As far as I know, they don't swing on their women. But many of them do. And when they swing on those women don't have any refuge. They got to take it. It take them years to get out of them relationships with those cops. Cops got all their information. Looking up their information. They try to move, they using the police database. Pulling up information on them, private information on them that they're not even supposed to have access to. If I was a woman, ain't no way I'd be in a relationship with a police officer. Hell no. Hell no. You worried about, be thinking about they're gonna protect you. Who's gonna protect you from them? I can't do it. Who is this talking this all Democrat city shit? The golden child. All right, let me tell you something, man. I've been hearing this all Democrat city stuff, right? There are no cities in America that's all Democrat. Let's get that straight. You may have cities that have a Democratic mayor and, you know, a Democratic chief of police or something like that. But go into the annals of those courtrooms and watch what you see. Go look at the school boards and watch what you see. But see, the average person is too basic to even think on that level. They don't have critical thinking level skills. So they just hear, oh, they start hearing the whatever the newest, the latest Republican or white supremacist regurgitation statements and stuff, and they just start doing that. Whatever those talking points are, they just start doing that. And they all sound the same. They all have the same kind of comments. You could tell that they're just repeating what they heard somebody else say. They don't do no thinking. All of these cities, they all got Republicans, a good equal balance of Republicans and Democrats. And it doesn't matter what the mayor say. The mayor ain't running nothing. The mayor got some juice, but the mayor need what? Votes to get anything passed. Go and check out all of these municipalities, and they got an equal amount of Republicans and Democrats. Same thing with the commissioners, the lieutenants, all of them, it's a mix. All of them are destroying the cities. All of them got a hand in the destruction of the cities. All of them. They're all responsible. All of these years, you think for 400 years, all these years, they're all responsible. We've been going through this shit all this time. What do you think the Republicans were when the Democrats was making choices? And what do you think the Democrats were when the Republicans was doing what they were doing? They were sitting right at the table, working it out with them. Okay, I give you this, you give me this. You give me this, I give you this. They laying up in the beds with them, having sex, having their babies. They're out at the ballpark with them. You think when you go to that ballpark and you watch people out there, those politicians and stuff like that, and you think when you go out and watch them when they participate in these sporting events and stuff like that, that everybody out there is just with the Democratic Party or just with the Republican Party? They're all in bed together, man. You're stupid if you don't understand that. You're really slow if you don't know that. I seen them. They're right there together. Republicans, Democrats, they just, listen, fam. Think of it like this. Let's take human beings out of the equation. Think of it like this. Think of every single position that that politicians have. Every single position is a seat, right? It's a seat. The seat don't care who gets in it. The seat doesn't care who sits in it. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, the seat wields the same amount of power. It wields the same amount of money. It pays the same salary, whether a Republican gets in the seat or a Democrat gets in the seat, including the President of the United States. It's the same seat, whether you put a Republican in there or a Democrat. It's the same seat. It pays the same amount of money. It wields the same amount of power. So when you see the Democrats and Republicans fighting, they are not fighting for the soul of this country. They are not fighting for moral compass. They are fighting for power and money. They are not fighting for you. They are not fighting for black lives. They are not fighting for white lives. They are fighting for money and power. They don't give a damn about you. This is why you got a billionaire or 100 millionaire, whatever he's worth, that's the president, and you got half the country poorer today than they were before he got in. Because they failed to realize a simple fact. Everywhere Trump has ever went, he runs off and leaves his business partners holding the bag. Right now, the American citizens, Americans are his business partners. We're reluctant business partners, but we're the business partners, and he's leaving us holding an empty bag. All these dumbass people voting for him thinking that they're going to get money because he's the president. How stupid could they be when if he was really for the people and if he was really for helping the poor, he would have did it before he became president. Because most of the help that comes from, most of the help that the private sector gets are from private citizens. It's not from the government. Small business is what runs America, not Walmart, not Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Apple, Google. Small business. That's what runs America. That's what fuels America. They're running game, fam. This whole thing it's a money grab. It's all about divide and conquer, period. It's divide, conquer, divide, conquer, divide, conquer. That's all it's about. And whether they dividing us along racial lines, economic lines, religious lines, cultural lines, regional lines, it's about divide and conquer. That's what this shit is about. And this is how they run it. This is the game, baby. This is how it's ran. I'm telling you. How all you got to do is just look at how things have been, and that'll tell you if we got all this power, all of these smart people, most of them lawyers, becoming politicians, running the show. Why is it that people don't feel safer today than they did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 1 year ago? Why is it that people don't feel safer? Why is it that we continue to be pile up the numbers in impoverished families earning below the poverty level? Why is that? Why is it that with all of this education, the schools are crumbling? Why is it? Why in the schools did they take away the vocation courses? Why would they take away vocational courses? Why would they do that? This is what people need. That science shit is cool. Biology, that's cool. But when's the last time you went to apply for a job and they asked you to solve a biology question? When the last time they told you to dissect a frog when you tried to apply for a job? That stuff is cool. Don't get me wrong, so you can be well-rounded. Those things should be electives. People need to learn conflict resolution. People need to know basic math, algebra. You ain't gonna be filling out no damn you're not gonna be like solving no damn algebra problems trying to get a job, unless you doing something along those lines that require that. And most people in the world don't do that. Conflict resolution is needed. Racial sensitivity courses in America, or racial tolerance courses, those are needed in this country. People need to know how to read. People need to know how to write. People need to know how to navigate. Man, all this other stuff is bullshit. It's a hustle. Yeah, spell, exactly. People need to, I just took for granted if you can write, you can spell, but yeah. People need to know how to read, write, spell, Language arts is good. That's good stuff. Conflict resolution needs to be taught in class, in schools. Because Americans don't know how to interact with one another. Americans are like, the adults are acting like kids with weapons. The adults in America are like dangerous ass kids. They lose it, man. They have a problem. As soon as they have a problem, they just start attacking. They start insulting, and they start hitting, striking something, shooting something, stabbing something. That's America. And it's accepted. Vocational courses are needed in school. Teach people skills. So they ain't got to go out and beg for a job, but then they're gonna teach you skills because they want you to be a liability. They don't want you to be independent. They want you to rely on them, but at the same time, they talk shit about you relying on them. But that's the hustle. They want you to rely on them so that you cannot do for yourself. This is why it's imperative that you start your own business. I don't give a damn if your business is selling water on the side of the street. You must become self-sufficient and independent. You cannot be a man and rely on another man to feed your family. You have to put yourself in a position to have that control as soon as possible if you're not in that position already. You cannot allow another man to decide whether you are going to eat or not. You cannot allow another man to decide whether your family is going to eat or not, whether your family is going to have a roof over their head or not. You must absolutely become a boss. Schoolwork, absolutely. And think of purchasing property as an investment. Let me tell you something, fam. I will say that most of the people that I know at some point has had enough money to invest in some type of property. It doesn't have to be a $100,000 property. It could be a $10,000 property. Depending on where you are, there are $5,000 properties, $20,000. Most of the people that I know have had enough money at some point to invest in a property. But instead of investing in that property or investing in some type of business, small business, they took that $2,000, that $3,000 they got up on, that $12,000, that $10,000, that $5,000, that $6,000, whatever that was. They took it and they went out and splurged because they couldn't wait any longer to treat themselves. And they blew it. Most of the people that I know in America can actually invest in something. I don't give a damn what it is. It comes down to discipline. You know, there have been times when I've wanted things, even since I've been with the Ghetto Boys, where I've wanted certain things, but I held off on it because I had to stack my paper right before I made that move. Because when I make a move, I'm looking at how can I make my money come back. I don't like the idea of just spending money and not having that money be able to come back to me. I like to figure out, okay, I got this money. How can I make this money make me more money? I like to look at I look at assets versus liabilities. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. Assets put money into your pocket. So that's what I use my money for, other than when I'm giving my kids money. But even when I'm giving my kids money, I consider them assets because I'm investing in my children. And that'll come back. That'll come back to me 100 times, 1,000 times. I'm going to check out a few more comments, fam, and then I'm going to shut it down. Fam, before you go, make sure you smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. If you have not already joined, if you have not already joined the channel after you subscribe, please click the notifications button and make sure you select all notifications. Otherwise, you may not get any notifications. And the only notifications you're going to really get from me is when I go live or when I have a video dropping, and that's it. I don't hit you up for nothing else. In the description, if you appreciate the videos I'm dropping and stuff, go in there and get yourself some gear, man. You know, I got a link in there. You can go in there. It says No More Talk merch. Just go in there, click on that thing, and get you some gear. I got masks, I got t-shirts, I got sweatshirts. You know, so get yourself an item or two. You know, and you know, grab something for somebody else. Somebody got a birthday coming up or something. I don't know. Early Christmas gift, whatever. Get yourself some gear, fam. Who is that? Aurora Lancaster. Is that Miguel Venner? Tabs. What's up, Tabs? Elevated Emotions. Ellie Jones. Invest in Africa. Forget the West. King Karma. Hey, Serena. Who is that? Loretta Toombs. What's up, Loretta? Yeah. Philly Blunts. That's what's up. All right, fam, I appreciate y'all. I'm finna go and do my little community work today. City of Houston got something going on. And Acres Homes, that's the fofo if you're in Houston. Hey, don't meet me there, beat me there. But I'm on my way, fam. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until next time, fam. No more talk.